Eighth-ranked rushing offense will go head-on with the Bulldogs' sixth-ranked rushing defense. Meanwhile, over their big win in Wisconsin last weekend, the Fighting Irish will look to fend off another ranked opponent in Cincinnati. It'll be just the second meeting between the two schools.
They're just fine. They have way too much talent. You have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, so many great players. I think they're going to bounce back and be totally fine.
Crimson Tide has played through the season's first 5 weeks. Good
have
news
you
for
been
Bama.
watching this
The
defense?
Rebels are 0-13.
See, I know we in love with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, my brother from another mother. I get all of that, okay? Let me tell you something good. They're second to last against the pass. They're second to last in points allowed.
And that's why they're so good.
I never said that.
Okay,
I never said that. Okay.
You thought it.
Paul Farnbom said that. My buddy Paul Farnbom said that, not me.
You
But go
didn't say.
ahead.
All right.
But go ahead.
Is Alabama
Good. They're
on
second.
upset alert?
Have you been watching this defense?
Absolutely.
See, I know we in
now
love
let
with
me
Patrick
say
Mahomes.
this, okay?
And Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, my brother from another mother.
It's a new
I get
day at
all
Ole
of that,
Miss because
okay?
Lane Kiffin is
Let me tell you something.
I believe in that man.
They're second to
I think
last
he's a
against
hell
the
of a
pass.
coach.
They're second to last in points allowed.
Last
They're
year,
third
Tim
worst
Tebow
in
got
yards
me
allowed.
again
They can't
because he
really
told me that
defend the
Ole
run
Miss
game against Alabama.
was going to be tough.
Don't get me started with their running
They dropped
defense. You can
48
run
on
all-
Alabama, okay?
Seems to be a pattern.
But what happened to them in the
Alabama
Super Bowl?
dropped
63.
And what happened to them in the Super Bowl
Let's just be
has been-
clear about that. Having said that, we talking about Alabama. And let me tell you something, Tim. Let me tell you something right now, my man. Let me tell you something. Them damn Florida Gators surprised me, okay? I think they surprised Alabama. Alabama ain't going to find themselves in that situation again. They're going to get it together. They destroyed Southern Mississippi. That's a different level. I understand that. Ole Miss is coming in undefeated 3-0. Matt Corral's brother can play now. He's something special. Hasn't thrown an interception yet this season after throwing 14 interceptions last season. But it don't matter. It don't matter because they coming to the Tide, baby. They coming on road. They going on the road. They coming to the home turf of Alabama. Okay, Bryce Young handling his business, 15 touchdowns, just 1 interception, complete 72% of his passes. You see Jameson Williams and the rest of these boys, they're doing their thing. And listen, the fact that Florida almost beat them a couple of weeks ago, I think that Nick Saban has appropriately made life a living hell for them over the last couple of weeks. And I think Ole Miss will feel the wrath of the Tide, baby. And this is all I got to say to close out this discussion, Tim. Roll Tide! Alabama!
Stephen A.
It's not gonna be close this time.
Please rest your throat
Stephen
for a little bit.
when you woke up this morning, did you walk into your closet and say, you know what? I'm looking at all these ties, and none of them are quite as beautiful as the tie I wore last Friday. So you know what? I'm just not going to wear a tie because nothing could possibly match up to how great I looked last week. You know what? That was probably your thought process. But as we talk about Alabama, are they one of the best teams? There's no doubt about it. Alabama's a great team. But where you underestimate is you get so caught up in T-Town and Alabama and Saban that you forget other places have really good players. And yeah, you mentioned him, but you didn't really put a lot of respect on his name, and that's Matt Corral. This dude is unbelievable. And hey, let me throw out something to you. The last 3 Heisman Trophy winners in the SEC, Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel, Joe Burrow. Every single one of them went on the road to beat Alabama. That kind of put that little notch in their Heisman belt. So, could Matt Corral do the same?
No.
I think right now he's the best player in college football. So far, he's had the best season, and it's not the one-dimensional. He does it with his arm. He does it with his leg. He does it with his scheme. He does it getting in and out of plays. And yes, I want to give Jeff Levy and Lane Kiffin a lot of credit. They do an unbelievable job. I think it's the best offense in the country right now. But Matt Corral runs it to perfection. And by the way, when we're talking about next level, I think this kid has a really, really bright future at next level. I think you have a chance to be one of the top picks next year. He does everything well. And what do you need to be able to knock off Alabama? Unbelievable quarterback play. Not just in the pocket, but athletically to be able to do all of it.
Hold on.
What are we holding on?
All those flowers you just gave out to him, and you said he got a chance to be a high pick in the NFL next year. A chance. The way you talking about him, we should be saying he's going to be the number 1 overall pick or something. The way you talking about him.
I think he'll be a first-round pick.
I ain't talking about first round. I said number 1 overall. The way you're talking about him, he's the best player in college football? Well, we going to find out, ain't we? We going to find out this weekend. I'm telling you that right now. And I don't mind Alabama being the litmus test. Let them come. Let them come to the Tide, okay? Let them come to Tuscaloosa. Let them find out what it's all about, okay? I'm just telling you right now. That, listen, you can't be struggling against Florida and then go up against Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin and then struggle again. That's not Alabama football. That's not Alabama football, okay? That's all I'm saying.
All right. Let's move
I don't even know how to respond to that.
No, don't. The bandwagon's so crowded, don't. Alabama's on an 18-game win streak. Clemson, though, is off to a shaky 2-2 start. Uncharacteristic of my guy, Dabo Swinney. Losing to both Georgia and NC State tomorrow. They face BC. Is the mouth of the South, Paul Feinbaum, losing faith in the Tigers program?
Dabo's dynasty is done. I do not like anything I see there. They've lost one coach a couple of years ago to USF. I think that was a big loss. This is a staff that has always been together, but I think it's getting stale. Yes, recruiting is still good, but will it be elite after what we just got through watching? It just doesn't look like Clemson is part of the cool kids anymore, and I think that they're going to pay for it in recruiting, and they play in a terrible league, which will hurt them even more.
Paul, not mincing words, shots fired. Clemson not even part of the cool kids anymore. A lot is happening. Tim, where are you on this? Is the Clemson dynasty over?
Listen, I love Paul. I've had the chance to do SEC Nation with him for the last 8 years.
We do too.
But, I mean, what are we talking about? Like, for real. Come on. Like, it's 2 losses. You lost to Georgia, you lost to NC State. 2 good football teams. But to say, like, they're not part of the cool kids anymore, go ask all the 5-star recruits, all right? Let's just be honest. You know, go look all the people that are falling in love with Clemson. Go look at how they're raising money right now. Go look how they're building a program, how every other school is going to Clemson to look at how they do their marketing, to look at how they do their facilities, all of this, because they're getting all these recruits because everybody's falling in love with Dabo, falling in love with the program. And yes, they lost 2 games, but to say it's done, to me, it's just not watching. It's not evaluating. It's not looking at the program. It's looking at 2 games. It's looking at the result of 2 games. But that's not the entire process. Listen, Dabo is still one of the best coaches in college football. He's had a crazy amount of success for the last decade. And to say they're done because they lose 2 games, I think it is absolutely absurd.
Tim Tebow, we're supposed to be, and put me up on the screen, please. We see Clemson's record. We don't need to see it again. Let me say this. We're supposed to disagree. We can't disagree here. I'm not counting Dabo Swinney out, and that's where my focus lies right now. Alabama wasn't the only place I went to. I went to Clemson. That is a sensational campus. They've got sensational facilities, and damn it, they've got a sensational head coach. The real problem is their quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. And Tim, I don't know if I never tried to pronounce his name. Let me try to pronounce it now. Uyunglele? Is that how you pronounce it?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Uyunglele. Uyunglele. Okay, there I go. Okay, I pulled it off. Okay, let me tell you something right now. The only reason he stands out at this particular moment in time is because of how you pronounce his last name. It damn sure ain't his game that's doing it for him. He is a precipitous drop-off, obviously, from Trevor Lawrence, from Deshaun Watson, from Boyd. I mean, the list goes on and on. Listen, when you look at the recent history of quarterbacks at Clemson University, this brother's not measuring up. And it's quite surprising because last year when he played in the games that Trevor Lawrence was out, he looked pretty good. I don't know what happened to him this offseason, but he hasn't looked good at all. Listen, they lost to Georgia 10-3. Okay? Another game they gave up, I forgot who it was against, they gave up 8 points. Now, they gave up 27 to North Carolina State the other day, and I get all of that, and I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is, don't tell me that Dabo can't coach. Don't tell me about coaches that he lost, because you got a whole bunch of coaches that would love to come and coach under Dabo at that university, which is the great Clemson University. This is Dabo Swinney. We are talking about Paul Feinbaum. No, I'm rolling with Tim Tebow on this. I'm not counting Clemson out by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that they're going to have to make a change at the quarterback spot. They're going to have to find a playmaker at that position, somebody that steps up and lives up to a legacy that, as far as I'm concerned, Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence both took to another level. It's got to be somebody like that. But to me, that's all it is. If they had somebody like that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And we all know Dabo and Clemson are capable of finding somebody like that. They just don't have that right now.
Stephen A., I see you dropping SAT vocab words. Precipitous. Okay. Hey, listen, I was homeschooled, so during commercial break, explain it to me, all right?
Not nutritious. I mean, Dan Orlovsky used the word nutritious. He used the word nutritious.
Dan's the best.
You know, he used that word.
And he owned it.
And he owned it.
And he made it seem like it worked.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I love Dan.
At least Dan's such a nice guy, so you can't even give him a hard time.
Not as nice as you, though. Not as nice
best.
as you. My friend.
Oh, my God. Tim, have fun this weekend. We'll see you next Friday. Always looking forward to it.
Appreciate you guys.
Be
Good
safe.
to see you.
Appreciate the green jacket that looks black. Appreciate the green jacket that looks black on television, by the way.
Thank you, Stephen A.
Tim, you look clean. Your wife dressed you well. All right, still to come, Joel Embiid's unreal brand new soundbite on Ben Simmons. Shots fired. You be the judge. Plus Shaq. Yeah, that's Shaq unloading on Kyrie Irving. Perk breaks it all down with Mr. Naismith. That would be Stephen A.